Here's how we make our favorite chili using ingredients from the farm. We start off by soaking some beans overnight. These are a delicious variety called Tiger's Eye that come from Argentina and Chile, which is fitting. Between our bush beans and our Three Sisters patch, we grew a few gallons of dry beans this year, so we'll be eating them well into next spring. Don't worry, we didn't put her in the chili. Next, we dice up a nice size onion, and although these are about the size of the ones from the store, these are Walla Walla onions, which can get as big as your head, depending on how big your head is. After our onions are chopped, we turn up the stove to high and add some peanut oil and ground venison. While the venison browns, we stir it occasionally and rehydrate some chilies. We used a mix of cayenne, chipotle, and Fresno peppers that we smoked and dehydrated this summer. We let them soak in the water for about 20 minutes so they can soften and flavor the broth. Then we add our chopped onion to the meat, which is when it starts to smell like we're doing something delicious, and grind up some coriander. Fun fact, the spice coriander is just the seeds of the herb cilantro, and small pollinators love their flowers, so always let your cilantro bolt when it wants to. We add some crushed garlic with the coriander and stir it in the heat for about a minute, and then pour in some of the soaked Tiger's Eye beans and their soaking water. After we add the soaked beans, we add a jar of tomato sauce, and every time I open one of these, it takes me back to summer. Although we won't be eating tomato sandwiches anytime soon, the canned and dried ones will get us through winter. We like to add a few dried shiitake to cook down in the broth and add some flavor, and I will say basically any kind of soup or stew that you're cooking, you can't go wrong by adding some dried shiitake. Finally, we blend up the rehydrated chilies in their soaking water and pour that all into the pot. Oh, also a trick that we learned from Hank Shaw is to pour in a little bit of molasses or maple syrup, and it really does take the chili to the next level. We worked on our house for a few hours and let the chili simmer, and it cooked down by about half. And after working up a little appetite, we sat down for a bowl of, wait, what's that book about growing a balanced diet in your home garden doing there? Anyway, for the moment of truth, I poured Sylvan a bowl, and what is going on here? I don't know how this keeps happening. By the way, this recipe is not in our book.